What's going on, people? What's going on? I had another interesting day, and it's underway, and I'm a little tired now, so I may get some lunch or something, and so I sound a little sluggish. I'm just trying to get it together. Maybe some coffee will do me up a little better. But I wanted to talk today while I had a few moments, for some conversation, some really good conversation. And I want to talk to you people about, I've realized some things about myself. And, I've realized that, the human condition, I'm working on another book. And then, it just had me thinking a little bit, the other day. And the human condition is one of those things where I always say that, a person may say a lot of things that we see are wrong with other people. And we clearly are right in some cases. That we can point out, some of these bizarre things that have happened, these outright crazy things, the school shootings and just all these things that have happened in recent times that are just troubling. And we have to speak out about those things, and they're dangerous, and they hurt our families and the other people around us. But in general, the bad behaviors of folks, the things that we say that we're not willing to do. Obviously, many of us are not willing to go to that extreme and do such a thing if we're hurting or something. But just the little manner things that we do to other people. You haven't given it thought, because really in bigger, when you think about it from a bigger emotional level, I'll say that it's not really about the actual technical ranking of the act itself. If I punch someone, if I walk up and punch someone in the face, at random and hurt that person, yes, I hurt them. But what's the difference between me sitting at work every day and plotting someone's demise on the job, or trying to get someone fired, or just something that every day I'm building on this evil? Isn't it the same? Isn't your intentions the same? So punching someone and directly harming them is pretty much equal to when we sit around and gossip and slander people for the purposes of bringing them down some type of way, or making them putting them in a worse situation or something. Just think about how we do these things. All of us feed into these things every day because on some level, as humans, we enjoy stepping on other people. We enjoy being able to oversee someone else and say that this is not me, this is you. And so I'm guilty of that myself, because I'm rallying about certain things that need to happen. And but I want you guys to understand, I also reflect within myself. I look at the things that I do and what I say to other people. And I think about how I affected someone, and it bothers me to me. See, that's where it gets interesting, where you have to realize if you're willing to do the work in private, where you can look in the mirror, that person, that one-on-one you in the mirror thing, where you're willing to look into that mirror and recognize your deficiencies and what you need to improve, how you could be a better person for the world. Because you being better is like a role model for other people, right? You want to lead yourselves in life. You don't want to follow behind scumbags. They are scumbags because they're scumbags, right? But you don't want to follow behind those models. You want to be better than the typical scumbag that you're encountering on your jobs, the people that you have to come home and talk about to your spouses and your family and stuff. And, these are those people. These people wake up in the morning, like I've said many times. They wake up in the morning with the sole intention of deriving someone's positive energy from their day. Because they're miserable people. A lot of them have the demon flu. They're low-spirited. And they seek out ways to, how can I make someone else feel bad, or this or that. And they just don't get, they're unenlightened and lost about why they do these things. And why is it silly, and why does it show how low they are when they just literally cannot even pick themselves up in life and try to be happy. Now, another thing is that these people do not realize, and that's what reflection is all about, folks. Realizing that this is not all there is. To be human is to, I'll give you an example. You could literally have angels. Let's use angels. Just imagine if you had angels literally materializing before you every day, watching your every move. Other people could talk to you. They could be standing right there looking at you, and they're there. And it's almost something that is just between you and them, because these people don't have the vibration to see them. But they're watching you. Every single move you make. And then you still do negative things, right? You know, some of you find your ways to bars and you get drunk and you do whatever you're doing in these bars. And you see these beings sitting right there looking at you do it, knowing that they represent something higher and there's a purpose for them watching you. They don't just watch you because they like spectating. That's what dumb humans do. We like to spectate things just for the purpose of being over someone. They're not doing it for that reason. Now, if you had that happening to you, imagine how it shouldn't be a difficulty for you to do the right thing, because shit, it's just like a cop standing over there watching you. You don't speed when the cops are sitting out there with the radar gun, right? You slow it down, right? So if your life is like that in that same capacity where there's some higher entity, with their proverbial radar guns watching your move and clocking your speed in life, why are we incapable of doing the right things even when we're being watched and know we're being watched? Forget what you see. Forget what you see. I'm talking about the person that's being watched. If they know that they're being watched, why do they engage in behaviors that are less than what a higher authority wants for them? That is the human condition, folks. That is what it is to be bad. And so when I say that, I'm saying that from the framing of understanding that I'm no better than you guys and none of you are better than each other. On that level, when we talk about the rally, about the things, we should always be talking about the better things that we can be, but also making sure we're at least trying to meet that status quo or something, or meet that standard. At least try that. It's one thing to talk about, the bad people of the world and you're just a bad person and you're not even looking in that mirror trying to be better or do anything other than what you're talking about. Than just talking about it. But you're not trying to be any other standard than that. You talking the talk and shit. The walk is still the same. You're not doing anything different than anyone else. And so why should anyone listen to you? A lot of people out here on social media too, in this world, are just full of shit. Not saying that people aren't good or bad or can't be either one. Right? Good people can fall and bad people can become better. We know this. This is the duality we live in, the reality. But I'm saying, looking in that mirror, being reflective, trying to see yourselves for the things you do and knowing that you're pretty much no different from anyone else. You're putting your pants on the same way other people are, right? You're doing pretty much the same things. Sometimes you let yourselves get low, and I just want you guys to not ever put yourselves in a situation where you think you're better and that, there's not something higher than you. There's always something higher than you watching you. You don't get that, and that's fine. That's fine. I know most of you people are just lost. I get it. But, in cases where people really know that this is the case, they really have proof in their own heart. They don't have to make you believe anything. There are things that they know. And if they know these things, why do they find themselves compelled to be dragged into low-level situations? And that is what being a human is about, folks. That is the duality. When we talk about the fight of good and bad and, good and evil and all these things or whatever, that is what you're fighting against. You're fighting against your abilities, your ability to be good and stay good. Or when I say good, I'm not talking about necessarily going around and, feeding homeless people or something. That would be good things too. But I'm talking about just you and your individual soul connected to higher things. What you want to believe in your heart. When you're looking at someone and you're not thinking, I'm better than that person inside. Just because you're not saying it out loud doesn't mean the intention is not equal to someone actually doing it, like I was talking about earlier. Someone punching you is equivalent to something, some intentive thing that you have in your heart. Get that. Know that. That's what's going to make you better, folks. The ability to reflect, right? To reason with yourselves is what makes you better, right? Which is what gives you the ability to speak on certain things. Okay? Pretty soon as you start walking on that trail, you'll start getting, your stride will start picking up and you'll be walking that walk for real. You have to believe it up here first. It's not just some bullshit smoke and mirror stuff. But a lot of people do these things. They talk a lot. They say what they want to do or who they are. And you're none of those things. You're not even looking in the mirror at yourselves. A lot of you have sold out. A lot of you have done a lot of things that just compromise your ability to ever come back to that place. You know, I'm not getting into that either, but that's true. That's a fact of life, and it's a sad reality that this world is the way it is. That many of you buy into the things you buy into for the purposes of, you know, of fulfillment. You want to feel better. You want to be happy, so you buy into these things that you think will give you happiness, when really all of that is just an illusion. It's in your heart. You know? Trying to think about and reason within yourselves is how you become the best folks that you can be. Not about trying to, you know, you can feed all the homeless people you want. You can do all of this crazy stuff. Well, good stuff. But you can do all of these outlandish good things or perceived good things and thinking that it's going to make you something or take you into some higher realm or some higher entity is going to notice these things. They notice your heart. They know what you're thinking in your heart, right? If you're thinking, well, I'm doing these things for the purpose of getting over, they can see that in your heart. And that's what I want you guys to think about, focus on. And I'm going to get in the store and, get on with my day and, pick myself up. And I really got picked up having this conversation because I'm reflecting. See? I love bad behavior, but I love mirrors. I love mirrors because mirrors help me reflect and recognize who I am. Okay? They help me see some things that I really need to see in my life and who I am. And that's going to make me better for you guys. You'll see the finished product one day because I'm still a work in progress. But you'll say, wow, what did that guy do to polish himself up? I did that, folks. I looked in the mirror. The mirror is what you fucking need. You need a vanity. Not to be vain, but you need a vanity for reflection. Okay? Like, share the videos, folks. Subscribe. I'm getting out of here. Have a good one. See ya.